Welcome to Faith-Led Healing with Tammy Trayer, Integrative Health Practitioner and Certified Breathworker. Tammy's passion is to help people take their life and health into their own hands so they can live their best life ever. Imagine having the energy to fulfill your dreams and create the life you desire. Rebalance your body by removing the stresses and toxicity and start healing. Listen as Tammy guides you along the healthy path with the Lord leading the way.
Hey my friends, welcome to Faith-Led Healing. I am your host, Tammy Trayer. Today is episode number 33, and we are going to talk about, in this Detox series, how small shifts and changes in our life can make a huge, huge difference. And yes, this is part of the Detox series because it's a progression. And there's a lot of things that we can do for ourselves. And I hope that you will go back and re-listen to this whole Detox series and start putting all of these things into place. Last week, I spoke about our emotional health. We've spoken about hydration and sleep and removing the toxins, how to remove the toxins, how the toxins affect us. Our emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical health need to all come together in this. And we need to be willing to make change happen. So often we fight change. Change to be well is scary when we've been sick for a long time, that we have lost hope that there's anything remaining and available that could actually make a difference, right? I've been there. I tried a lot of things before God diagnosed me and led me to my doctor. But I never lost hope. When we lose hope, that can be total devastation. When we don't have the right people surrounding us, when we lose hope, we stay in that place. Last week I spoke about that slippery slope, that landslide, that when we start heading into that negative abyss, that we kind of stay there. You need to start making slow, simple changes in your life that are going to make a difference. Doing the detox with me will really catapult things. That detox environment is available to you at all times. faithledhealing.com/detox. Get in there and join me and start progressing forward. Getting rid of the toxicity is going to be the first thing that's going to really make an incredible impact. But it doesn't stop there. I will hold your hand in that environment, and I will lead you and guide you and be there to support you on the other side, help you to determine if there are still things lingering. But by putting things into place and starting to create daily routines, those small changes can be so impactful. So last week I shared about doing creative writing and a simple notebook. Doesn't have to be fancy. Just get it out, and every day write in that and clear your head. Get rid of all the junk. Get rid of all the hard, the trauma, the hurts, the pains, the bitterness, all of those negative superlatives. I really believe that. They're worse than the superlatives. That negative thinking and negative headspace is just so toxic. As I shared last week, start your day by dumping all of that stuff, because oftentimes the enemy will attack us in our sleep, give us bad dreams, give us weird things upon waking. We are paying attention to our pains and our unfortunate current space that we're in. Get all of that stuff on paper, rip it up, tear it up, burn it, throw it in the garbage, and move on with your day. Now, the next thing you need to do And yeah, this stuff takes time. 15 minutes for that writing. Another 10, 15 minutes of writing your gratitude and your prayers. This is my Relentlessly Faithful Gratitude and Prayer Journal. This is a little more, as my son says, girly looking. However, I am just about ready to publish the volume 2, which is a little more manly looking, you will find, and I will be certain moving forward to make sure that it is appealing to both sexes, because this is not just for women. We need to praise God through the good, the bad, and the ugly. We need to praise Him when things are good. We need to praise Him in the valleys. I promise you, there is always something to be grateful for and always something to be praising Him for. We are in a valley right now. We are in a temporary location, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place, owned by beautiful, beautiful people. I got here, and 2 days later, I was pulled into the wilderness. The enemy was attacking me hard, really hard. I was bit by a tick back in May. It was embedded between my toes. I had Lyme disease during my healing journey. All of a sudden, I'm starting to experience a decline, and my health was declining really quickly, symptoms returning that I was very familiar with, and I am now combating Lyme. And I know how to do that. I've already done it once. I've overcome it once. I'm educated, I'm knowledgeable, I'm praising God for that. But I was flat on my back for about 4 or 5 days. Extreme pain from head to toe, major gut issues. And was I in a woe is me place? No, I was praising God, because through it all, He is still moving, He is still working. In this same space, my husband took a spill and landed really hard on his knee. And he is a very hardworking man. He was a professional bull rider for almost 11 years. He's used to falling. He's used to these unusual situations, and he knew pretty much right away something wasn't right. There is a tear in his meniscus, and we need to, he needs to endure surgery and healing. Neither one of us are in a place of woe is me. We are praising God. We are 20 minutes from really good doctors. What normally takes weeks to get into a specialist took 3 days. What normally takes over a month to get an MRI took like a week. God is moving. God is in it all. Perspective plays such a huge role. And also our minds. You know, we could have easily been, and let me remind you of this. On the way to this place, we were driving our truck. The injectors went on our truck. That is over a $6,000-$7,000 repair if we are dependent on someone else repairing it. My husband can repair it, but he's not in a position to do that. We are steadfast here, and we believe truly that God brought us to this place with great intention. We could very easily be on our knees crying and, why me? That's not our mentality. That's not our mentality at all. We are understanding that there is great purpose in us being here. Maybe the enemy is attacking and, trying to thwart our efforts and whatever it is that we're supposed to be doing here. We kind of have ideas what that is. But we're not in that place. We're like, okay, God, your hand is clearly in this. Show us. Keep leading us. Keep guiding us. Keep directing us. God is so good. God is so good. But you've got to get into that headspace. And so often when you're in a healing journey, we don't get into that headspace. We get stuck. As I talked about last week, we keep ourselves stuck by our thinking, end up in fight and flight, end up causing great stress on the body. And it's just a vicious circular tornado type cycle. And that's why I'm saying every day we need to do things to pull us out of that place. The enemy was attacking. What did I do? I'll show you what I did. I love pulling in to God and reading His Word. I also have a creative edge this is just the beginning. I like to do pencil art. I like to then do colored pencil or watercolor in my Bible. I pull in. And I don't just pull in randomly. I ask him to show me. And it's amazing when you ask Papa to guide you, he will guide you right where you need to be. The words that have been spoken into me over the last couple weeks have been so divine and so specially directed and totally pertaining to the season I'm in. And I'm fully trusting him in this place. We've got to learn to fully trust him in whatever we have to walk out. Because through our tests and our trials, let me rephrase that. Through our trials, which can be a test of our faith, a test of our strength, a test of our endurance, we grow all those things. When we allow him to guide us through the wilderness, through the chaos, through the valley, I always ask him to hold my right hand, make my path clear, give me wisdom, knowledge, direction, and discernment in this place, Papa. He always does. And when we trust him, he grows our faith muscles. But we've got to be active, and we've got to be seeking him. We are called to ask, to seek, and to knock. We are called to keep pulling in. He wants a relationship. That relationship, the more we make it of importance and the more value we put on it, the more he shows up. The more clearly visible it is of his presence. And the more he'll bless your socks off. And I'm not saying pull in so that he blesses your socks off, because yeah, that's great. But it's the deepness of it that nurtures your soul. And everything that we endure on this planet, we can overcome through him. For us, it may be impossible, but with him it's possible. Remember, with God it's possible. But you've got to believe that. And we can't be wavering. Read James 1, 2 through 6. 2 through 4 were what I planted my feet in when I was on my own healing journey. And I can read that to you. I have a Bible in my lap. I was going to say, normally I grab my phone. But you know what? I'm going to read this to you. But we need to pull in. We need to trust. And we need to be ready for him to move. And I'm going to share a couple other things with you on what we can do. Okay, James. This is totally his leading. Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. Okay, so I'm not saying look for these moments, look for the chaos, look for the valleys. A lot of people misunderstand this. And how can you have joy in the valley and through some of the world's most deepest turmoils for ourselves? Through our perspective, through our minds, through pulling into God. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete and needing nothing. I have to say that those were the verses that I really planted my feet in, because I was perseverant. I was determined. I was going to, get to the other side. There was no other option. I just closed it, but I want to read the other part to you. And this is important. This is even more important than the first two. Okay. If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking, but when you ask him, be sure that your faith is in God alone. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalty is unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind. Such people should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Their loyalty is divided between God and the world, and they are unstable in everything they do. What does that mean? That means if you're asking God, but in your mind you're like, I'll ask, but I doubt he'll give it to me. I'm not worthy. I don't believe he'll do that, So, but you're asking, you're unwavering. You need to ask like this: I know that he is hearing my prayers. And I know that if he doesn't answer my prayer exactly how I'm asking, he's going to answer it how he sees fit. And that's going to fit the will for my life. And he is going to bless my socks off. I know that. I know that right here. I know that in here. I don't have fear, worry, anxiety, any of those negative superlatives anymore, because my faith has grown so strong that I just fully trust him with everything in my life, with my family, with everything. So it's important that we have strong faith. If you don't have strong faith, if you're a little weak in that area, it's okay. So was I. How do you strengthen it? Keep enduring. Keep being perseverant. Keep trusting him. Keep pulling into him. Keep being willing to keep changing as you catch yourself not being faithful. Oh, I'm doing it again. Okay, I gotta trust him. He sees your attempts to try. He knows you're trying. Keep trying. Keep pulling in. That's a change. That's a simple daily change that you can make that's gonna make the world of difference. Okay, so your expressive writing. You're writing in a journal, writing your gratitude, writing your prayers, reading his word. What else can you do? Okay, here's some crazy things, but it's important to realize that this is very valuable. I've shared many times that I've done brain retraining through my healing journey. I explained how that miraculously within 3 days made such a shift that chronic pain totally left me in 3 days. Those little shifts that we do daily can be that dramatic because our brain gets stuck in fight and flight. So what can you do? You can make daily shifts. Let's just say that you do something habitually that you've done your whole life and you start making a change. Mine was I write with my left hand. I am right hand dominant. I've always wanted to write with my left hand. And it was funny doing this because I'd be trying to write with my left hand, and my right hand just couldn't handle it and was wanting to take over that pen because it was so slow and it was so laborious. But I kept doing it and I kept doing it. And I can write very fluently with my left hand now. But here's the other funny thing. I can only eat out at one restaurant, and it is a Mongolian grill. So you go through a buffet line and you get all the raw vegetables and your meat, and it's all non-GMO, and you get to the sauces. And this one day I'm ladling sauces into my bowl, and I am making this hideous mess, and I'm like, what in the world am I doing? And all of a sudden it dawned on me that I'm using my left hand instead of my right hand. My left hand now is getting involved and taking over things that my right hand has done my whole life, because I made that simple change of being able to write with my left hand. And truly being ambidextrous, being able to use both our hands, is certainly a huge benefit in life. But you could do, different things, Here's another example. When you catch yourself being unfaithful, or you catch yourself taking things from God that you've put at his feet, you just quickly just put your hands up and make a stop, and you turn around. Making these stopping gestures when you realize you've done something wrong shifts the brain. It causes the brain to go like, whoa, what's she doing? That's really different. Normally she just, combats this and starts going into this, woe is me cycle or whatever. When we catch ourselves and we make these daily attempts to keep doing things differently and to improve ourselves, okay? You don't normally move. You're usually sitting in a chair. Start moving your arms, start working your arm muscles, start working your shoulders. Just these simple little things. Drinking more fluid, your body will celebrate. Your body will work better because you are giving it what it needs. So if you typically have yourself in a place of dehydration, starting to drink more, starting to be aware, getting an app on your phone. My water app is what I use, and it reminds me to drink when I am in these moments where I don't use it all the time, but there are times where I catch myself drifting off into a not enough liquid in a day, so I'll activate it again. Getting out walking, if you're pretty much a sedentary kind of person, or that's the kind of work you do, and you all of a sudden go for a 15-minute walk at lunchtime, your body's like, whoa, what's she doing? You got to do these things. You got to start implementing the things I've been sharing with you. This takes work. This takes devotion on your part. This also takes a desire to be better. Start going to bed a half an hour early. Start implementing these changes. I've been sharing this now for a long time about the toxicity series and the things you need to do. Now start implementing them. Knowledge is not power until you put that knowledge to work. I'm challenging you today. I am challenging you today. Make a difference. Start implementing these things. Start making changes. I want you guys, I need to do a post on my blog that shares some of my before photos, and you can see the after. When I show you the before, you won't even recognize me. I was in a really bad place, guys, but I was determined not to stay there. You can do this. Even if you don't have the right people surrounding you, I'm here to cheer you on, and I've suggested this over and over and over again, and I'm gonna keep doing it. Get in my community, faithledhealing.com/community. You can join for free. You can join and support me and join the paid levels. It will also benefit you. There's a lot of one-on-one time with me. There's a lot of giveaways. I will be giving away a Relentlessly Faithful Gratitude and Prayer Journal in my special access community this coming, through the rest of this month and into August. We need to start focusing on being healthy. Here's something else. As you start becoming healthy and you start making these changes, your family is going to start seeing and wanting what you have. It all starts with Papa. Get in the Word. Do your expressive writing in the morning. Do your gratitude. And start making these small changes to improve your life. I promise you, you're going to find a beautiful place. And if you need help, I am always available to you. I know how costly a healing journey can be. I know there's a lot of people out there that can't afford care. I was there. That's why when you get on my calendar and get in my calendar, you will see that I have 30-minute free consultations. I have a toxicity assessment that is free. I do weekly breathwork, group breathwork sessions that are $27. If you join my community, you can do it for $7. Join me for $7 for the group sessions. I do it Mondays, Wednesdays, and I'm going to start doing Saturdays periodically to help open up more time slots and availability for people to do this. There are things available to you that you can't afford. I am here for you. Get on my calendar, faithledhealing.com/calendar. When I say I love you, I truly do, even if I haven't met you. Papa has put me in this seat to help people, and it nurtures my soul. And I love more than anything watching people bloom and blossom and grow and find healing from stress, anxiety, trauma, lifelong, generational history junk. Remember, we can be history junk changers. I'm doing that right now. Get on my calendar, join my community. There is help and the right people just waiting for you to come. I love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I look forward to chatting with you next week about the beautiful thing of meditation. God bless.
Thank you for joining us on Faith-Led Healing, where every day is one step closer to your best life ever. We hope you enjoyed the show and encourage you to join us at faithledhealing.com. Connect with us on your favorite podcast app and be sure to leave us a review. Remember, your best life is just down the path, the Faith-Led Healing path.